Alright, hello and welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, who's the most arrogant player in NBA history? Off the top of my head, I can tell you Jordan, Kobe will definitely be on here. Jimmy Butler with the Timberwolves when he was yelling at them at practice. Definitely some arrogance. Now, when you're a professional athlete and you're at the top of your game, it is probably really common to be really arrogant. Now, even guys that are super humble, guys like Curry and Shea, behind closed doors, probably a lot more arrogant. Obviously, I don't want to speak for them, but the reality is when you're so good and you get to that level, you just have to have immense confidence, especially when you see these guys shoot the shots that they shoot in game. Of course, they're really confident. So yes, can you be humble? Of course. Can you be extremely arrogant at the same time? Maybe not at the same time, but throughout different parts of the day, surely you can. Top comment here, Shaq. The way he talks about other players is petty and insecure at best. The way he shuts down or talks over whenever anyone disagrees with him is childish. What he did to other players, especially rookies during his playing time, is absolutely disgusting. Okay, let's just address the first part of this first. He has a history of dissing other centers. He's dissed Dwight Howard countless times. He's dissed Rudy Gobert countless times. He's definitely even dissed Wemby a time or two. Not as blatant as Dwight Howard, but on Inside the NBA, he's made his remarks. Shaq just has a weird thing with talking about other centers. I'm not understanding the reason why. Well, I guess the reason here is that he's petty and insecure at best. Is he arrogant? Yes. Definitely he is arrogant. Is he an asshole on what he was doing during his playing career? Some of the stories I've seen, yes, he would do some nasty pranks to some rookies, and I'll leave it at that because they're actually genuinely just gross. If you want to look into that, you're more than welcome to, but it's gross. And yet he acts like he's the supreme authority and is giving up platform on what used to be a great show. I have no doubt Draymond will be as bad or worse. Shaq is arrogant. Him and Draymond are pretty alike. Shaq is obviously more dominant, so Shaq, has a lot to say, but very alike. My vote would be Kobe. There are stories out there about him telling teammates they haven't earned the right to talk to him. Yeah, Kobe's arrogant. I mean, he even walked into practices and said, "I can't wait till some of you bums get traded." Paraphrasing, but very much things that he would say would just be very arrogant. Yeah, Kobe Bryant was definitely one of those players, and rest in peace, Kobe. Despite people having their opinions, and some people love him, some people hate him, some people are just whatever about him. One thing I think everyone in the world could agree on, whether you love him or whether you hate him, is his arrogance was at a high. But again, when you're at the top of your game and you're as good as you are, and you're as good as you are, kind of comes with the territory for 99.9% of people. I don't know any lore about Wilt aside from him, in the NBA and whatnot. Do you mean some of the guy who reported he slept with 20,000 women isn't humble? Huh. Did he actually say that? I have no idea. What's strange, you should hear his whole quote. It's something like, "It's better to sleep with one woman 20,000 times than 20,000 women one time." So to me, that's actually less arrogant. I don't know the lore of Wilt Chamberlain, but if he actually slept with 20,000 women, that's gross. Some people might look at that and be like, "Oh, that's what's up." 20k women is overboard in my opinion. Although you're talking to a guy who's already settled down with his woman, and I have a daughter, as most of you know, so 20k is too much for me, at least. Maybe some of you really want to do that, not me. Relative to talent, Latrell Sprewell. Ooh, that's a name I haven't heard in a billion years, it feels like. Isn't he a former Timberwolf? Latrell Sprewell. He's got to be a former Timberwolf. Yeah, he is. Averaged in 2004-2005, 12.8 points per game. I don't even know what his peak was, but I can't imagine it was all that crazy. He had some years in the NBA, I'll give him that, but let's see what his peak is. 4-time All-Star. That's impressive, actually. What is his peak in points? 19. No, that's field goal attempts. Points? God damn it. I didn't go to the ad blocker site. Okay, it's fine. The most points he averaged was 24.2 with Golden State Warriors. Another Kobe comment. Rick Barry is pretty high up there. Honestly, I don't know jack about Rick Barry other than he played with the Warriors. How I know that is because he was on the 2K all-time team. So, I don't know anything about Rick Barry. He's 81 years old. This is far beyond my time. Keeping it going. Gilbert Arenas. He acts like he's on the same level as the great shooting guards of all time. And all he has to back it up are 3 All-Star appearances. One thing I will say is, yeah, Gilbert, no chill Gil, is really, really arrogant. I mean, you see it in the way he talks. He has a lot of clickbait kind of stuff. At least you would think it's clickbait, right? You see his stuff, and don't get me wrong, there is clickbait stuff. But some of the stuff that you would think is clickbait, I don't know why I'm doing the quotes here. Some of the stuff that you would think is clickbait, you actually click on the video and you're like, oh my god, this guy's serious with this take. He's a very, very I'm right, you're wrong kind of person. I mean, he's rich, so I mean, even this whole thing with the arrest, you know, being very confident that he's not going to jail, and maybe he isn't, but I don't know. I feel like if you were more humble or maybe even more smart, you wouldn't be talking about your case openly. People with really good lawyers, those lawyers would advise him, stay on the DL, but that's not no chill Gil. Dion Waiters. I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9, because if you went 0 for 9, that means you lost confidence and stopped shooting. That's actually a Kobe quote. I would believe that that's a Kobe quote, to be honest. That is a very much Kobe quote, because Kobe's not stopping at 0 for 9. I promise you that. Nick Young. Oh yeah, Nick Young is arrogant. Nick Young's honestly he just seems like an asshole in real life. Larry Bird by a mile. Which one of you motherfuckers is coming in second? Why did I say it like that? That's a great question. I don't know. Is that my white accent? White sound? People say I'm whitewashed even though I'm Mexican. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Larry Bird by a mile. I do remember people talking about Larry Bird being really good at trash talking. I do remember that. I've seen some lore here and there about Larry Bird's trash talking. So, seeing this quote doesn't surprise me at all. C. Wilt. Oh, center. Wilt, Wilt, and Wilt. Okay. Elvin Hayes, power forward. Certified asshole, though his turnaround was God's gift. Huh. I don't know anything about Elvin Hayes either, but he was a Washington Bullet. Not Wizards, Bullet. I believe it was the Bullets. Rick Barry, narcissist with a disagreeable personality type. MJ, is it arrogant if it's mostly true? That's pretty funny. Big O, PG. Dude believes he's the best guard of all time and played against the best competition. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is ignorance, but I guess sometimes ignorance and arrogance, sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes they can go hand in hand. To believe you played against the best competition of all time is just, what, 60 years ago at this point, that is ignorance. It is ignoring human evolution. You want to, like, I've been through this stuff so many videos, but I'll go through it very briefly again. Players 56 years from now will do things that players today couldn't do. Why? Because the human body continues to go through evolution. Our human race continues to improve vastly with better technology, better medical technology. I mean, an Achilles years ago was a career ender, and now it's like, okay, you can come back and you still have a chance at being who you are. Look at KD, for example. So, evolution, man. Isaiah Thomas. He led the 1985 NBA All-Star Game freeze-out of MJ during his rookie year. He also acted like a bitch to other guys and betrayed his friendship with Magic after the HIV announcement. Not to mention all the other stuff he did post-retirement. I did see some stuff. Again, it's more so just random things that I come across post-retirement of him doing some scummy stuff. But even then, if you hear him talk on, what is it called? It's like he's on the halftime shows on NBA TV. And I'm not going to say he's a terrible analyst, but comes off like I'm trying to not sound like a genuine asshole by saying stuff, but I guess this is kind of where I put myself. I would say he comes off as someone who believes he's always right. People that are not as open-minded as, you know, an analyst should be, can be tough because it just creates unnecessary drama. Yeah, I can talk about stats, you can talk about stats, and even if I have stats to prove you're wrong, you're never wrong. Isaiah Thomas seems like one of those guys. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Who do you think the most arrogant player of all time is? For me, in my generation, it's gotta be Kobe. I say my generation, but grew up watching basketball. I definitely watched Kobe. But I didn't really watch basketball as much as I do now since like 2020. So that was 5 years ago where I got stupid into it. In the past 5 years, who's the most arrogant? Draymond's really arrogant. Draymond is definitely really arrogant. For sure. Trying to think of other players. LeBron has some arrogance to him here and there. I mean, again, rightfully so. Similar to MJ, where it's like, okay, yeah, this guy's arrogant. Kobe's arrogant, but, you know, they're kind of right. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you like and subscribe, it goes a long way and help the channel. As always, this is Ollie Been Different. Always been different. And we out.